As Syria's civil war escalated, the threat of a U.S. missile strike got President Bashar al-Assad to agree to give up his chemical weapons. So there's no reason to remove that threat now, says NATO Secretary General Fogh Rasmussen.
It was the credible threat of military action that facilitated the political process that eventually led to the Russian-American agreement. And this is also a reason why I think the military option should stay on the table, because it will facilitate continued momentum in that political process.
Speaking to VOA at the opening of the UN General Assembly, Rasmussen called for Security Council action to enforce the plan to get rid of 1,000 metric tons of chemical weapons by the middle of next year.
Now I urge the Security Council to adopt a firm and binding resolution that can create the framework for a swift, secure and verifiable elimination of all chemical weapons in Syria.
U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry is pushing for a UN resolution with consequences if President Assad fails to comply with the deal shaped by the U.S. and Russia.
It is vital for the international community to stand up and speak out in the strongest possible terms about the importance of enforceable action to rid the world of Syria's chemical weapons.
Russia is blocking a stronger resolution, calling it a deeply politicized approach. Deputy Foreign Minister Sergei Ryabkov.
The Syrian side clearly has stated its free will. In this situation, attempts of the Americans, actively supported by the English and French, to push the UN Security Council to craft a resolution that would contain a direct danger to Syria look absolutely illogical.
Kerry and Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov said progress on chemical weapons could help bring about a political transition in Syria. But in an interview with Chinese television, President Assad seemed to reject negotiations with the rebels.
Anyone who lets go of their weapons, we will negotiate with. There is no problem there. Also, we do not accept negotiations with anyone who accepts foreign interference, whether this be military interference or political interference. Aside from this, we have no problem in negotiating with any side.
French officials say a new government for Syria is the only solution. French President François Hollande.
It's about organizing the transition that is a government that would represent all of the communities, all the sensibilities willing to participate in the renewal of Syria.
President Obama has vowed to keep the military option open if Syria does not comply. Scott Stearns, VOA News, Map the United Nations.
People a mandate to pursue a more moderate course, and given President Rouhani's stated commitment to reach an agreement,